Hello, Jerry here with Season 5, Episode 44 of Ask Jerry Tachoir. Once again, if you would like to ask me a question, simply go to my website, which is tachoir.com, Tachoir.com. Upper right-hand corner is a little contacts tab. Click on that, ask your question, and perhaps we'll do one of these videos. You can also respond at the bottom of this YouTube channel. There's a little section there where you can make a comment or ask a question there if you prefer, but the best way is to go to my website and send it directly to me. Also, I ask, please, if you would subscribe to this channel. It really helps a lot with the algorithm, get more people to be aware of this channel and to watch the video. So go ahead and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Just click on the subscribe button down below. Today's question, this comes from Tyler in San Diego. Hi Jerry, I have admired your dexterity as a 4-mallet player for some time. I'm primarily a 2-mallet player with 4-mallet envy. Unlike you, I find it very difficult to hold 4 mallets at the same time. My hands hurt and I can't seem to control the mallets. I'm curious as to your experience and pros and cons of being a 4-mallet player. I'm trying to decide if I should invest the time and energy in developing a 4-mallet style. You make it look so easy. Looking forward to your response. Tyler. Well, Tyler, most of us in the percussion world, when we finally get into mallet percussion, we all pretty much start out as a 2-mallet player. We pick up 2 mallets, one in each hand. We learn our scales, our arpeggios, and learn how to read. That's sort of the way it goes. As a teacher, though, what I have found that I do is if I get a student, and generally I don't get a lot of beginner students, but if I get somebody who's early on in their career, I will give them 4 mallets immediately. And I'll tell you why as we get into this video a little bit more. There obviously are 2 schools of thinking on playing the vibraphone. You know, whether you're a 2-mallet player or a multi-mallet player, I'd say 4, but there's also other people who play like 5 and try to play 6. And anyway, it's got to stop somewhere. But let's just say for now we're talking about 2 versus 4 mallets. As a 2-mallet player, your limitations are in that you're pretty much playing melodies. You're like the sax player. You're just playing melodies or improvising and get through it. And you're not able to really play chords other than maybe 2 notes at a time. With 4 mallets, obviously, you have your choice of playing with 2 mallets and playing like simple lines, using your 4 mallets to play chords, and also having your 4 mallets to be able to play huge arpeggio kind of things with just a flick of a wrist without having to really be dealing with what am I doing and just, with the motion of the arms and stuff. So anyway, 4 mallets, to me, personally, is so advantageous in every scenario. Again, I can play as a 2-mallet player. I use my number 3 and my number 1, going from the bottom up, 4, 3, 2, 1. I'm using my 3 and my number 1 mallet predominantly as my 2-mallet player playing, and occasionally I'll use my 3 and my 2 also if I'm working on like inside lines, or if I need to reach, I'll use my number 1 mallet. So as you can see, by holding 4, I have immediately 4 notes available to me at the drop of a mallet, which means I have 4 more notes up or down a half step at just the drop of a mallet. So I don't have a lot of motion. One of the schools of thought, and one of the things that I think is a very important thing to keep in the back of your mind, is if you can reduce motion, meaning the motion of your arms to play your instrument, if you can reduce that motion, you'll play faster, cleaner, and less likelihood of a wrong note. So, I mean, these are definitely benefits to being a 4-mallet player. I have seen a lot of players lately being just 2-mallet players, and I see them like just wailing. I mean, they're just hitting the bars as hard as they can, as fast as they can, and just running up and down the keyboard like a wild man. And I mean, that's a style, I guess. To me, it's kind of like you're missing the musical picture of it. You're just trying to impress with speed and dexterity and things like that, and volume. As a 4-mallet player, I'm more concerned about trying to execute the line, whether it's the improvisation or the melody, trying to execute it as cleanly as possible, and then using my other mallets to support me harmonically or melodically or counter lines and something just to make it a lot more musical. Now I've seen a lot of 4-mallet players who they'll play 4 mallets, they'll play chords, and then when it's their time to solo, they set down 2 mallets and then they do their solo with 2 mallets, and then they have to stop, regroup, put this in this hand, pick up the 2 mallets, get organized again, and play. And to me, to be honest with you, that doesn't make a lot of sense. I really struggle with that because when they do set their mallets down, they want to make sure that the mallets don't roll off the instrument. So what do? They set the heads of the mallet into this little groove right here between these 2 notes so that they won't roll off. So what does that do? Most instruments are 3 octaves. I have an extended range instrument here, but most of them are 3 octaves. So that eliminates almost a half of an octave of available notes because your mallets are sitting there. So again, that doesn't make a lot of sense. Now, as you begin with a 4-mallet grip, you have to decide which grip you're going to use. And there's several versions of grips, and I'm not going to get into which one's better, but the one I use, it's a cross grip, and initially, it can be painful. It can be painful because you're cramming this mallet into between your fingers here, and this is like a soft tissue area. And the soft tissue area then, as the mallet is moving up and down, it's obviously rubbing against it, and then you'll start getting like sore. You'll get a blister, and it might even pop, and it really hurts. So what you're trying to do is to get to the point where you develop a callus. A callus will then protect that area, and it'll allow you to play all the time without having any kind of issues. Sometimes when you're in the summer, especially when you play outdoor concerts and it's very humid, even if you have a callus, it can hurt because the callus will get soft and then it might break or crack and you might get a blister. And so a lot of times what I'll have to do if I'm playing an outdoor concert and I know this is going to happen, I'll take a Band-Aid and I'll put the Band-Aid around my callus to protect it, and just to be aware of that. So, and also in the winter when it gets really dry, you have to protect your calluses. You have to put hand cream on them and really baby them. So what I do when I'm not playing, like if I'm not practicing a lot during the week or I have a lot of gigs or something, I always have a set of mallets next to me. If I'm upstairs watching television, right next to me on the floor I'll have 4 mallets, and I'll just sit there and I'll just hold the mallets. I'll just move them back and forth, and I'm just keeping my hands working, and I'm keeping the mallets in there where the calluses need to be worked. And I just kind of keep them going. That way it protects my calluses and keeps them built up so I won't have pain next time I go to do a concert or a performance. So these are all kinds of issues you got to deal with. So 4 mallets can be complicated if you don't maintain your grip, if you don't maintain your calluses, if you don't play a lot. If you're just wanting to play vibes and kind of keep it simple and just play melodies and let the piano player deal with all the chords and everything else, then by all means, 2 mallets is a way to go. I mean, you can sound great, just as great playing nice melodic lines and nice improvisation with 2 mallets. But again, 4 just gives me the ability to play chords, and if I don't want to play chords, I can play single lines. If I want to play anything else, double stops, with either hand, I can do it. If I want to just play big, huge arpeggios with very little motion, I can do that with my mallets, with the independence that I have. So as you can see, again, I'm favoring obviously 4 mallets because that's what I do, but I do it all the time. I never, ever, ever go back to 2. As a matter of fact, when I do pick up just 2 mallets, it seems unbalanced and weird to me, and it's like something's missing. So I'm always a 4-mallet player. Even when I play marimba, vibes, glockenspiel, I'll hold 4 of those little mallets because it just feels right in my hands, and it allows me again to play quick, fast lines with very little motion. Xylophone, 4 mallets. So I do it all the time. So I think if you're going to decide to be a 4-mallet player, you need to commit. You just need to say, all right, this is what I'm going to do, and from that point on, always hold 4 mallets, regardless of what you're doing. If you're learning a new piece of music, if you're doing something that only needs 2 mallets, always hold 4 and keep them in your hand, and you'll see after a while, it starts to feel natural. You want to find, obviously, some nice mallets that aren't too heavy, that are comfortable in your hand, that are nice and straight. And again, I highly recommend these, which are my Jerry Tachoir JT23 signature mallets by Innovative Percussion. These are great mallets. Sound good on vibes and marimba. Nice balance. They're not too heavy, and they project well, yet they have a really nice, soft, warm sound. So find a mallet, and then decide which way you want to go. Again, there's no shame in being just a two-mallet player. You can play nice lines. Just don't be one of those bombastic guys that's like just wailing at it. And I mean, anybody can play chromatic scales fast. You know, you want to hear melodies. You want to hear harmonies. You want to hear dissonant resolutions. You want to hear music, not just zzz, up and down, up and down, up and down, which gets obnoxious. So anyway, 4 mallets, though, will allow you to harmonize and play and get around and manipulate. And this is the way I go. This is what I recommend, and I hope that helps you. Again, obviously, I'm leaning towards a 4 mallet thing because that's sort of the contemporary expectation of the day. We're sort of required a lot of times to at least play 4 mallets occasionally when we need chords and stuff. So why not do it all the time and just make it part of your arsenal? So I hope that helped you. And again, please ask me some more questions. I'm looking forward to it. And subscribe to my channel, and talk to you real soon. Thanks again. Bye-bye.